Hey guys, and welcome to the summit. Alright guys, this is the video. This is the big one. This is the horror collection video. And you know what? It doesn't really feel like a Halloween video. I have so many lights on right now. And that, you know what? Let's just change up the mood a little bit. Alright guys, what do you think of that? A little spookier now, right? Alright guys, I got two really big stacks of horror movies I gotta show you. I'm not going to get too into them or it's going to be a really long video. And plus, I want to do a complete collection video eventually. And I just want to show you guys all of my horror movies because it's that time of the year. So let's just get into it. Alright guys, first movie I have for you is George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead. Kind of like a, found footage movie, but not really. It's told by narrative, but it still has, some found footage elements. I really enjoyed this movie. One of his better movies, and it's a little boring and a little long for some people, but I really enjoyed it. I liked to see what life was like on the road. It's very isolated. This movie is very isolated. There's like 5 or 6 different areas that they're in, and they stay pretty close to those same areas pretty much the entire time. And I really like this movie. I think it's a little underrated, and if you really like an isolated horror movie, definitely check this one out. Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead. This is one of my favorite horror movies. It's got the real fast, 28 days later zombies, and it's just a really kick-ass horror movie with tons of really awesome action. One of Zack Snyder's best movies and one of his first movies. Awesome director, really awesome horror movie, and I actually like this one better than the original Dawn of the Dead. These vampires don't sparkle. They'll fucking kill you. Daybreakers, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke. Awesome horror movie about vampires. And also Sam Neill. Where the hell has he been? Really cool movie. Cool little vampire movie. And if you like vampires, especially badass ones, check this out. Alright guys, another vampire movie. Fright Night. 3 really strong performances from Anton Yelchin, Colin Farrell, and David Tennant. David Tennant steals the show for me in this movie, and he is an awesome fucking vampire. Alright, the next movie I have for you is kind of like a nostalgia piece. It's not the best movie in the world, and it's definitely trying to rip off another series that was way more popular. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It had a lot of up-and-coming actors in it from the 90s. It's a cool little horror movie, one of my favorites. I definitely like checking it out on Halloween. So if you like one of those 90s-ish horror movies with a lot of young stupid kids, definitely check this out. The original Amityville Horror. The James, not Josh, Brolin version. Never actually seen this movie the whole way through. I've seen the end. Probably one of the most iconic horror movies of all time. I can't wait to check it out. This is the remake of the last movie I just said. The Amityville Horror. The Ryan Reynolds version. I've talked about this movie before. Definitely check this movie out. It's a very faithful remake, and I actually like this movie a lot. It's a little older of a remake, so if you haven't heard of it, definitely check it out. Ryan Reynolds has an awesome performance in this movie. Alright guys, it's going to get a little out of order here because I put these up here like a jackass. Insidious. James Wan, please let Aquaman be good. Please be good. This movie is slowly becoming one of my favorite horror movies, like I said before. Really dark, really creepy, and Darth Maul's a badass. Tusk. Kevin Smith. Justin Long. I think it's Michael Parks. I think that's his name. Yeah, Michael Parks. Awesome, kind of throwback to the monster movies, kind of a little bit. I really like this movie a lot. I loved Michael Parks as a bad guy. So creepy. And Justin Long, man. He's an awesome actor. One of my favorites of all time. And I'm trying to see if my set is burning down, and it's not. Gotta love the bacon. Tremors, starring Kevin Bacon. I saw this on TV a lot as a kid, and I really like this movie. A really cool movie about these worm-like creatures living under the ground, and that's really all you need to know. Don't just stare at it. Eat it. American Psycho. American Psycho? American Psycho. Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe. Really love this movie. And this is the uncut version, which I don't think I've ever watched the actual full uncut version. Can't wait to check it out. Reese Witherspoon is also in this movie. One of my favorite movies from Christian Bale, and this is pre-Batman, and I can see why they cast him as Bruce Wayne. If you think it's a horror movie, it's not really. It's kind of a comedy. You have to see it to check it out, but it's awesome. I definitely suggest it. Red Dragon. Kind of like a prequel to The Silence of the Lambs, based off a book, and I really liked Anthony Hopkins in the movie. Also, I really liked Edward Norton, and Ralph Fiennes as the bad guy. Oh my god. It's kind of like a by-the-numbers movie, but still, I really liked it, and I think it's a fitting prequel to Silence of the Lambs. Speaking of Silence of the Lambs, Seen this movie a couple times. Oh, the basement scenes. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the fucking lotion in the basket! Jacob's Ladder. I still haven't watched this yet, and I can't wait to check it out. I heard it's a really messed up, freaky movie, and I'm really, really excited to check this out. Alright guys, I've talked about this movie so much, and if you haven't checked it out, why haven't you checked it out yet? A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by the man, Wes Craven. Awesome movie. Came out in 1984, so it's a little dated for some of you younger people, but definitely check it out. It revolutionized horror in the 80s. Its influences are still felt today in horror. Alright guys, I got another movie that influences horror today. The Scream franchise. Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. As a series, I love the series. 3 is probably the weakest one. But number 1, 1996, is one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't checked out the Scream series, definitely check it out. What's your favorite scary movie? Alright guys, My Soul to Take, one of Wes Craven's last movies. I've talked about this a few times. You want my in-depth opinion on it, check out one of my last Blu-ray updates. I talked about this movie. I believe it actually is my last update video, so I'll put a link in the description box for my full reaction to this movie. But I really liked it, and it kind of reminded me a lot of the original Nightmare on Elm Street, mixed with some elements of Scream. The screenplay could have been a little bit better, but I really like the story, and if you like horror, definitely check this out. Alright guys, I already showed you the first one, but I gotta show you all of them. Not only do I have Friday the 13th, I have Part 2 and Part 3 in 3D, with 3D glasses. Friday the 13th is just one of my favorite movies of all time, and one of my favorite series of all time. You guys know I have the DVD collection, and I love the crap out of these movies. I watch them every Halloween, and I watch all of them, even Jason Takes Manhattan. Freddy vs. Jason. Another one of those movies that the hardcore fans of the series don't usually watch. I actually really like this movie. It's really fun. That's exactly it. It's a really fun movie. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's meant for you to be watching in the dark with popcorn and just having fun. The next movie I got is the remake, Friday the 13th, The Killer Cut, starring Sam from Supernatural. Sam! I really didn't like this movie when I saw it in theaters, but when I watched it on Blu-ray a couple years later, I watched it on Blu-ray, and I actually really liked it. I think the downfall of this movie was the fact that they were trying to combine, 11 other movies into one remake. And I personally think it would have been a better TV show. And I actually think that CW picked up the rights, so definitely look into that. Alright guys, we got a movie starring the other Winchester, My Bloody Valentine 3D. I definitely checked this out. And I love Jensen Ackles, my boy, just one of my favorite actors of all time. I really like this movie. It's directed by Patrick Lussier, one of my favorite directors. Drive Angry with my boy Cage. It's getting weird around here, guys. It's not the best horror movie. It's got some plot holes, some serious plot holes, but I definitely liked it. If you like the old campy style horror movies, you'll definitely like this one. And the hits. Props to the sound department for this movie. Awesome. When he hits you with that pickaxe, boom, you're gonna feel it. Okay guys, another movie I haven't checked out. Lords of Salem. I bought the Steelbook a few months ago, and you guys know I put it in one of my Blu-ray Quest videos. Sherry Moon Zombie is not exactly the strongest actress in the world, but she's Rob Zombie's wife, so she knows she's gonna get some work. It really is a beautiful Steelbook, and I haven't checked it out yet, but I can't wait to check it out. Alright guys, let's just continue with the Rob Zombie movies. I got A House of a Thousand Corpses, one of his first movies. Like I said before, kind of like his audition tape for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Make that happen. Make Rob Zombie direct a Texas Chainsaw movie. Zach from Zach vs. the Blu-ray Mountain wants to see it. Make it happen. The Devil's Rejects. Alright, this movie is really fucked up, really weird. I felt kind of bad at the end of the movie because I was like, why do I feel bad for these characters? They're horrible, horrible people. And I feel really bad for them. And I don't know why. Rob Zombie's Halloween, the uncut version. This movie gets a lot of hate, but I'll tell you right now, I love this movie. I actually really like this remake, and I don't get why it gets so much hate. I loved Malcolm McDowell. I loved Taylor Maine as Michael. Just a brute force of nature. Just awesome. It makes Michael just that much more, menacing. At 6'7", the dude is huge, and he moves like lightning. And I thought the way that this was shot was beautiful, and I love the fact that they used the original score for the original John Carpenter's Halloween. That's pretty badass. Halloween 2, like I said, gets a lot of hate, not that great, kind of strange, But I still like it, and I had to complete my Rob Zombie collection by getting it, and I'm happy that I have Halloween and Halloween 2. Halloween, with Jamie Lee Curtis, directed by the other man, sorry Wes Craven, John Carpenter, another great horror director. Oh my god, this movie, it was so good. I mean, they took a movie that was supposed to be like, bullshit, come out, who cares, and made it one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Okay guys, when I was younger, I said I was into a lot of horror movies, and this was definitely one of them. Wrong Turn. Just a weird movie about people getting lost out in the woods and a bunch of hillbillies come out and incest family and try to kill them all. It's a really campy, cheesy-ass movie, and I love it. I love the practical effects, the makeup work, so awesome. And it just reminds me of the old, like, creature features type movies. It's very formulaic, and it definitely has the last surviving woman, man, whatever. But I definitely like the feel of it, and it's definitely in my collection. And check out the collectible card. It's pretty awesome. Are you guys afraid of dolls? Because I know I was, after Child's Play. This movie, Brad Dourif, just awesome as the voice of Chucky. And what's more scary than a little doll coming to kill you? Evil Dead 2, starring the Chin, Bruce Campbell. One of my favorite actors, very deadpan, reminds me of myself. And this is the 25th anniversary edition, packed with a whole bunch of killer extras. Definitely check out this version if you're going to pick up the Evil Dead. Kind of like a remake of the Evil Dead. I guess that they weren't happy with the first version they did, so they made a second one. Love this movie, love it a lot. Love Bruce Campbell, one of my favorite actors. Jack of all trades, has anybody seen that? Put your comment down in the comment box down below if you've seen Jack of all trades. Just a really, really cool movie, and here's a fun fact for you. Some of the blood in this movie is different colors because there's so much blood in this movie that they were going to get an X rating if they didn't change the color of the blood. Alright guys, another movie I got for you. Unfriended, with a slipcover. If you've seen the movie The Den, you've pretty much seen Unfriended. Pretty cool movie. And it's shot pretty much all on one screen. It's not as bad as what it makes you think it is in the trailer, because I thought the trailer was horrible for this movie. Absolutely hated the trailer. But I actually liked the movie a lot. Definitely check it out if you like really claustrophobic movies, because, like I said, it only takes place on one screen. Alright guys, probably the lightest in tone of horror movies that I have. Interview with a Vampire, starring Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Just a really, really cool movie. Brad Pitt in this movie, really good. Tom Cruise, I think, was rubbing off on him a little bit. But a really cool vampire movie. The Strangers. This is definitely a movie that you do not want to watch alone in the dark, because it will really give you one of those really isolated feelings that these people in this movie could actually be outside your house right now. David Cronenberg, Jeff Goldblum, The Fly. Practical effects galore. Jeff Goldblum, awesome. And seriously, ripped in this movie. Awesome shape. And just The Fly. It's so awesome. Definitely check it out. It's one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies. Bela Lugosi, Dracula. Do I really have to say anything else? You know, it's gonna get real crazy around here. Ow! The Prophecy Collection. Starring me, Christopher fucking Walken. Actually, he's only in the first 3. He's not in the last one for some reason. But the third one's directed by Patrick Lussier, one of my favorite directors, like I said. I actually really like the first one. Brad Stokes. Eric Stokes is... Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz! That's his name. Eric Stoltz is good in the first one. And, what's his name? Elias Koteas. Casey from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in the first one. And I really haven't watched any of the sequels yet. Can't wait to check them out. But if you liked Legion, definitely check out this movie. These movies are apparently better than Legion, but if you've seen Legion, this is kind of the feel that this movie series goes over. Prom Night on Blu-ray, the remake version. This is actually the unrated version as well. Did not know that when I bought it, because I was really just looking for horror movies, and I just picked it up because it was $3. Horror movies. Horror movies. Horror? Horror. 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 Shudder on Blu-ray, and it's a weird Snapcase version because I glitched out when it was Friday the 13th, so that's really bothering me. Still haven't checked it out yet, and that's really going to bother me if I don't do that. It's also unrated, and I definitely want to check it out. If you guys played the Fatal Frame games, you might really like this movie. I still haven't checked it out, so if anybody has watched it before, let me know what you think of it in the comment box down below. Do you like zombies? Zombieland. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin. I forgot her name, so I had to look at the DVD, Blu-ray thing. This really, really cool, like, horror comedy movie, and it combines a lot of different genres into the same movie, and usually when somebody says that, it's kind of a bad thing, but no, it's actually really good for this. Zombies look great, practical effects, and some really awesome celebrity cameos. Alright guys, kind of in the same vein of I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, The Grudge. It came out around the same time as those movies, and I really liked The Grudge. I never saw the original version of The Grudge from Japan, but I really liked this one. I actually saw this in theaters. And you know that weird sound that they make with their voice box in the movie? Yeah, I can actually kind of do it. One of my favorite creature-type movies, Jeepers Creepers, starring Dustin Long. Just a really cool, like, creature feature type movie. The creeper is so freaking creepy. Like it says creepers on it. He's so creepy, and I love the practical effects that they used for his look and the hat and the coat. It just makes him look like a badass, and he really is a badass. Some of the scares in this movie are really, really freaky, and especially the tongue scene, if you know what I'm talking about. The tongue scene. That's just creepy. Oh, we're getting down there, guys. Another 2000s movie, The Ring. Just such a freaky movie. And I know, one of these times after I watch this, my mom's going to walk into the room and just see me like this. Another movie I haven't watched on Blu-ray yet, but I have seen before, Reanimator. It is a really, really fucked up movie, especially the scene where the one guy is holding a head. In probably a place where a severed head shouldn't be. Just saying. Insidious Chapter 2. Like I said before on one of my last Blu-ray updates, Insidious Chapter 2 I liked a little bit more than Insidious. James Wan's still on his game in this movie. The characters, loved them all. I loved how it, like, kind of tightened up the first movie by answering questions that the first movie had you asking after you finished it. And it's just one of my favorite horror movies. The Crazies, starring Timothy Olyphant, and he's one of my favorite actors. It's a remake of a George A. Romero movie, one of my favorite horror directors of all time, Night of the Living Dead, You're the Man. Awesome movie about zombie-type creatures and just two people trying to survive. A movie directed by Frank Darabont, The Mist, starring Thomas Jane. Stephen King's The Mist. I still haven't checked it out yet, but I love my boy Tom Jane. A really cool claustrophobic type movie with all the fog and everything. Kind of looks like it's set in the Silent Hill town. Just these things come out of the, they hold up in this grocery store and they try to survive. It's such a really cool movie. You definitely see some of the filming aspects of Walking Dead in this movie. Okay guys, it's about to get corny. The Leprechaun Collection. All 7 films for the first time in a collection on Blu-ray. They're not great. They're horrible actually. In Space is my favorite. Yeah, Leprechaun in Space. It's in space. How awesome is that? I still haven't watched it yet. I bought it like 4 months ago. It follows. And I can't wait to check it out because there's a scene in the trailer that I saw and I was like, oh my god, they didn't use a jump scare. That is really cool. Oh my god, I can't wait to check it out. I heard that it kind of, in the same vein of, John Carpenter's Halloween, definitely pays homage to John Carpenter's Halloween in the older movies of the 70s and 80s, and can't wait to check it out. Maggie on Blu-ray. Now, not really a horror movie. Kind of like a dramatic movie with zombies, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on! Kill me! I'm a zombie! Come on, do it! I don't know if he turns into a zombie, but I didn't want to do my Arnold impression. Alright guys, we're on the last movie. I got it right here. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I found a use for those cards. I actually think that's really cool putting the card on the front there, because I definitely like this artwork a lot better than the artwork that came with it. Just a really cheesy, campy movie about killer clowns from outer space. Woo! Alright guys, that was a long ass video. I hope you liked this horror video, and I hope my lighting was good enough for it. Yeah, let me know. What is in your horror collection? If you have a video of your horror collection and you want me to check it out, post it up in the comments and I'll check it out, because I'm actually really interested in what you guys have on Blu-ray, especially in horror, for this type of year. Wow, this type of year. This type of month. The month of Halloween. Oh yeah, it's not one day. It's every day of the month for me. I love Halloween. It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite holiday. But if you have a huge collection and you want my opinion on it, put your video link in the comment box and I'll definitely check it out. Do you have any of the movies in my horror collection? Also let me know down in the comment box down below. Again, I hope you guys like this video. Give me a comment, give me a like, give me a share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, because you know I have them. And most importantly, y'all know it by now. This has been Zach versus the Blu-ray Mountain. Stay spooky, my friends. It's metal. Stay metal. Just metal.